Mr. Wells, when was the first time you put a ferret down your trousers?
Well, the first time I done it was at where I work. And the chaps I work with, they were watching Melbourne Musos Facebook Live at 6 p.m. and they dared me to do it. So it was before I started the morning shift, you see. I went home and got my ferret and I brought it in and I done it in the canteen while Melbourne Musos was on the TV. The record was 36 seconds and they said to me, could I keep it down longer? So I done it there and then in the front of the 40 workmates all watching Melbourne Musos Facebook Live.
And what did they think?
Oh no, they wouldn't have a go, no, they thought I was mad, they did.
A ferret isn't entirely gentle, is it? I mean, don't ferret have teeth?
Oh yeah, you're telling me they got teeth all right. Oh, I've been bitten once. Well, I remember about 12 months ago, I was handling one in the cage, and she had a little one of the young ones, and I must have disturbed her in some way, and she said, oh, she bit my hand, I got 3 or 4 stitches in my finger.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah, he couldn't play drums for months, he could just watch Melbourne Musos at Facebook Live. But I've seen him handle the ferrets, so many times. That to me, it's just an everyday thing, really, him fondling his ferret. But handling a ferret is different from putting a ferret down your trousers. Yes, I know that. He's got so much trust in his ferrets. He fondles them all the time. Especially when he's watching Melbourne Musos Facebook Live every Friday at 6 p.m. Can you explain what those are for?
That's just to keep the ferrets within his legs.
Have you any last words, Mr. Wells?
Well, hopefully I'll have a bit of luck, that's all, with my ferrets.
Oh, here's the timekeeper. Oh, there's the ferret.
As soon as the second one is in, I will start the clock.
You're not timing, you've got one ferret in.
You don't start timing, correct?
Oh, put him in. Oh, have a look at the ferrets. Oh.
I just hold the pants tight so they can't get out the top as well. Oh, look at the claws.
Oh dear. Oh. So you do this every time you watch Melbourne Musos Facebook Live at 6 o'clock?
Oh yes, I have a lot of fun doing the Melbourne Musos and fondling the ferrets.
Can you tell us what it feels like?
Well, it's very nice.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now.
Oh, congratulations! You've done the whole world record of handling ferrets and sticking them down your trousers for 2 minutes. What do you think you're going to do now?
I'm going straight home to watch Melbourne Musos, to fondle me ferrets. Now what I'm talking about, I'm just slapping around at the moment, I'm going to get into it. Opposites attract. Many, many moons ago, when I was a younger lad, a chap by the name of Ed Soph came to good old Melbourne, came to Australia, and with a little group of jazz musicians, and what it was it was about 1979, and it was pre-VCA jazz course. The VCA, Victorian College of the Arts, was still mostly all classical, and they were doing the big push courtesy of people like Brian Brown, Bob Settergreen, and some of our Melbourne greats. There you go. And what it is Ed Soph came out as the drummer. There was a bunch of other people. Dave Liebman came out as well. He's famous in his own right, but great credit the fact that he was playing with Miles Davis at one point there with Dark Maggots.
all this business. But what I'm really talking about is a thing that he did in his short time, and it was intensive. It was just bang. It was like a summer course. And I was just a little 19-year-old poppet, and he talked about the coordination grid. Now, if I do it simply, think of a single-stroke roll, and then you can do it with anything else. But here's the principle of it. Okay, so what you've got is 2 hands, 2 feet, hopefully a brain in the middle, and what happens is you've got a single-stroke roll. Don't mind the effects. You could do it with your feet. If you go down to boot cam, I've got the heels up, but don't forget, do it with heels down as well. That kind of biz. Then you can do what you've got is the feet. Then you can have the right side. So it could be... You see what you've got there is your right hand and right foot. You could do it with your left hand and left foot. There you go. And then you've got 2 extras. I think you're getting the idea. You've got the diagonals. So you can have right... I'll go to the hi-hat for this. And then you can have your left with the right foot. Then you can do it all with the left-hand start. So you've got a dozen. But there's the 6 there. I think you get the idea. Then you do it with the double-stroke roll. Paradiddle. Oh! Keeps on going. Now, as well as that, that's something to practice. Okay. Then what starts to happen is that you can take your rudiments and, of course, do what I've been doing for so long, just split them up. We've all been doing that. The first revelation I got was good old immigrant song. The Get Smart theme. Da 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 down. Da da. Da 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 da. Oh, Max. Oh, 99. There you go. Thank you, Mother, for the ferrets. Go home and fondle your ferrets. You'll see why that joke is coming. That's already opposites attract a little bit there, because when I'm doing my melodic stuff, what could easily be... Could easily be... things like that. All of a sudden you're doing lots of level, a bit busy there, that kind of thing. So when I'm doing some of my other things, my left hand, instead of just being rim shot city, keep your eyes on a bargain. Rim shot city, it's an oldie but goodie. But what it is I could put my left hand here on the piccolos, anyone else's octopad. Now that is doubling as, say, There we go. Ooh, there you go. A couple of things happening, sort of stuff. There. What happens then is that you can do other things, you see. One of the things, a simple thing, if you go down to boot camp down here, I'll have it up for you later, as I always do. You can straddle the pedals. So that's your left foot. And then I can put my right foot in between. All of a sudden, Whee! So that's what you've got, you see. So what you're straddling with your left shoe. Now when you're doing things like that, I always get reminded of Professor Nutbutter Primus with Herb Alexander on drums. What a phenomenal drummer he is. And that's great when you've got bass drums that are tuned slightly different. So what starts to happen is if I do go over to my left side bass drum, and now I'm going to talk about special effects. This is one of the most hated pedals in the world. Oh, that's cheating! It's called the Duelist. Many moons ago, Paul Mosum, if you're watching, brought them into the country for a while. They're a bit controversial and all that because they're a double pedal. I'll give you a bit of an idea there. That'll be up later. There you go, sort of thing. Oh, it's terrible, that's bloody lumpy. But what happens is when you're starting to do things like that, where you're doing, say, a little double, that kind of thing, or it's the same kind of principle, except it's mechanical. There you go. And what starts to happen is that if you're going to, say, do... Go to a different thing over here. That's my little trigger there. Now, I had a little thing worked out with brushes, and that's another thing. Everything that I'm doing you can do with brushes, you see. Everyone knows brushes, don't they? Do I have to explain it? If you're a new student, just watching, perhaps for the first time, they say, what's these things? What it is as well as playing vertical, you can also get horizontal. So, now go to this one. Oi! Soft and subtle, and there you go. You see, so what I'm doing is I'm turning things around, opposites attract, all this sort of business. We can also talk about the tambourine. I got that from John Henry Bonham myself. You know, that kind of thing. And then you're talking about effects, which I was talking about last week, the doctrine of effects. And all the different sort of moods and things. Now, most people like a hi-hat like chick, 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 chick. And like so, open hi-hat when you're getting a bit funky. And there you go, yeah. And you've got all these different little lengths. Regular watchers of the show would know that I love my splashes. Puts a bit of air into the beats. I see. There you go. And there you go, you see. And then you work that up. You know, you can tail off the phrase. So. Things like that. You can go put your hi-hat on the right-hand side if you want. These are not new. I'm just putting jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle, all this sort of business. Oh! There you go. Ooh, there you go. So what starts to go on is that when I'm doing dual hi-hats, they're not new either. All that. I'm doing things that are fairly standard. That particular thing is just a little calypso bass drum. Right, left, right, both. Right, left, right, both. But then when I put it over here and put brushes to it, with a little bit of a extra little triggery thing. Left foot over to my left side bass drum. Right foot over to this little fella. Get it? Got it? Good. There it is, you see? Things change depending on what you want. I was going on, I had a bit of a Rob Hurst weekend over the last couple of weeks. I love him. And you know, when you're looking at the drum solo, when you're listening to the drum solo of Power and the Passion, random things getting hit, found percussion, you know, that kind of stuff. And look at his drum setup. He's got these, you know, paraphernalia everywhere. And it's fantastic, you know, wonderful stuff. And he hits them. There you go, beautiful. One of the big things about the coordination grid is that when I'm talking about John Henry Bonham and things like that, we're not far removed. I'm getting, you know, it's one of these things where what I'm doing here is fairly starting to get a little bit out there. But it isn't really. If I take the coordinational grid business and I have the right hand with the left foot, swinger. The flipper, the Shane Warne flipper. There you go. Woo! Anyway, and we're in Africa now. Lumbering. Get it? Got it? Oi! I better start thinking about wrapping the show up. Went very quick today. Oh, dear me. Rum, rum, rum. What you try and do, when we're talking about hands, when you've got three main taps, like a single tap, double tap, press, and then you work it. And you start to try and get all your different sounds. What starts to happen is you can change things around and when you're dealing with little special effect things like a dualist pedal and things like this, it really is the touch of the pedal that gets you what you're doing. So if you're doing, say, a single stroke roll and you're getting all well and good, but if you nuance the fingers and you start to put in a little double tap there, you're starting to call it a drag. Ah, wedding reception classics. Oh, okie okie pokey. I'm doing this sober, for God's sake. God help me. So what we're doing, if we're going, well, get it? There you go. I want to go back to brushes again. Now that could easily be just a cowbell with on the pedal there. One of the things, just to finish off, Treelock Gertu was one of the first drummers I saw with it. You see it on cocktail kits when you're standing up and you've got the floor tom and the snare drum over the top. But if you turn the chain around, you can have a bass drum pedal that goes from there to there, if you know what I mean. And what I've got down here is a trigger thing where it's a pad. It's Roland puts them out, I think. And you've got the beater going around the wrong way, or around the other way. So it goes down, 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 like that kind of thing on the little trigger bar. There you go. There you go. So when I'm doing this, opposites attract. Everything's in a different place from what is normal on a drum kit. We are now abnormal. I didn't... Matt Mogan, are you there? You sent me a little thing. It's Young Frankenstein's 50th anniversary. Oh! Put the candle back. Oh! I should love and leave you. All right. What have I got here? Oh, my...
Adjusting
your willy.
through the window, shifted out of whack.
Whack. Welcome.
I hadn't had my willy adjusted like that in a long time. Especially
So
without
having
having
to
to
beg.
When was the first time you put a ferret down your trousers?